Hi.
Hey Whitney, how are you?
I'm feeling kind of overwhelmed.
Okay, well let's talk about that. I know we met last week and we met each other and kind of started to talk and talked about your anxiety, kind of how that's kind of negatively impacting you, why you wanted to start therapy, and we set up some goals. So what we'll do in this session is I'm going to ask you to rate your anxiety, then we're going to go over your goals, then we're going to do a relaxation technique, talk about coping skills, and then we're going to talk about that letter, okay?
Okay.
Does that sound good? So that's kind of the structure of the session. So first I'm going to ask you to rate some things, okay? So I'm going to give you a 0 to 10 scale. So 0 means that you're not anxious at all, you're perfectly fine. 10 means you're super anxious, you're about to have a panic attack, all the stuff that comes with that. So how anxious would you say you usually are on a daily basis?
Probably like a 7 or 8.
7 or 8, okay. That's pretty high.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with that every day. How anxious are you right now?
Like an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not good. We wanna bring that number down, okay? So it's been a week since I've seen you. So in the last week, how high has your anxiety been?
I guess a 10 because I've definitely had some panic attacks.
Okay. That's good. Well, that's not good, but that's fair enough. What's the lowest it's been?
Maybe like a 6.
Okay, that's still pretty high. So you're dealing with a pretty high anxiety level all around. So what we're going to do through therapy and stuff is try to make that number go down, so decrease. If you say your baseline's about an 8, we want that baseline to move down to a 5 or a 6, you know? I mean, we definitely don't want you getting up to a 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So our goals we talked about, you set some really good goals last time. One was to go to 80% of your classes and write that letter for your professor. So how have you been able to do this week going to classes?
I went to my Wednesday class.
Okay, so you're able to go to one. Did you get through it okay?
Yeah. I had a moment where I almost had a panic attack because the professor called on me, but I got through it.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad you got through it. I know that when the professor calls on you and you have anxiety, sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, you just freeze. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little bit of progress. You were able to push through. With that, how's work been going? Are you still taking some sick days?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't gone in this week.
Is it just too much to deal with people right now?
Yeah.
I understand that. So hopefully we'll get you to be able to interact and maybe slowly get you back to go 1 day a week, 2 days a week. What about friends? Have you been able to talk to any of your friends?
I've been interacting with them more on Facebook.
Okay. Well, that's a start. So you've been well enough to like status and stuff. So that's a start in the right direction.
Yeah.
And then we'll get you going out and hanging out with them and stuff eventually, but it's going to take a little time. Okay, well, anything else been bothering you? Are you okay with your parents? Is everything going?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty good? Okay. Well, that sounds good. So the first thing, your first goal was the body relaxation techniques. So what these are going to do is, I know you said you're always tense, you're always anxious. The goal of these is to kind of relax you and kind of just help you not be as tense and kind of be more relaxed and stuff like that. So we'll start with that. This is kind of an awkward exercise sometimes because we're not going to be saying anything, but I'll kind of explain it to you. We'll do it together, and then when you're done, you'll just say, okay, done, and we'll talk about if you think that helps. So it's called progressive muscle relaxation. So basically, we're going to sit straight up, however you feel comfortable. If you feel comfortable leaning back with your feet on the ground, and you're going to start with like your toes, and you're going to kind of squeeze your toes or contract your toes for about 3 seconds. You can let them go for about 30 seconds. Then you'll move up to like your heels, or your feet, however you can squeeze your feet. Go to your calves, your knees, your thighs. You go all the way up to your head, but you can't really contract your head, so you'll end with your hands, kind of balling up your hands, and then release all that. So you'll just go from group to group all the way up. And if you want to skip one, you can. I try to hit all the groups, but I know sometimes it's hard. Like, how do you contract, or squeeze so however you feel comfortable. You'll close your eyes and do this, kind of go on. I'll do it with you, and then my eyes will be closed too, and when you say you're done, we'll kind of talk about how that made you feel.
Okay.
Alrighty. All done?
Yeah.
So how did you feel during that?
It was good because I was focusing more on like my body and how my body felt.
So you were focusing more on your body and you kind of forgot about what was going on around you.
Yeah.
That's the point of it. So do you feel like that's one you could try to do every day?
Mm-hmm.
So I like to do it at night because it really puts you in a restful space and you've kind of tensed everything up. And you can always, when you do your squeezing or your contracting, you can always do it for more than 3 minutes just for time, or for 3 seconds. We just did it for time's sake. So you can do it as long as you want, 10, 15 seconds, whatever you think feels best. And then, like I said, I like to do it at bedtime, but you can do it anytime. So
Yeah.
we'll put that one in your toolbox. Mm-hmm. And then moving forward, next session we'll talk about some deep breathing exercises, some mindfulness exercises. So you'll have a whole plethora of relaxation techniques you can use to kind of relax you. So you feel pretty good about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So next we'll talk about coping skills. So I know you said that kind of when you know you're going to have a panic attack or when you're really anxious, you don't really know what to do. You don't have any kind of coping strategies to kind of stop you in your tracks. So we're going to talk about some coping strategies or coping skills that you can kind of put in your toolbox as well that I want you to use a couple times a day.
Yeah.
So do you have any triggers? I know we talked last time, sometimes very random, but do you have anything that you know just triggers you?
Usually when people start talking about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And also like I'm trying to figure out like money, like if I can buy lunch here, if I should bring my lunch. And like time management stuff too.
Yeah.
And also just like when people are paying attention to me, it's more stressful.
Yeah, those are definitely very normal ways to increase your anxiety. So when you're triggered, so if you hear somebody talking about Donald Trump or you don't have enough money for lunch, that's when I want you to use these coping skills. And also, you said some of them are random, but you'll start kind of sweating and getting dizzy. So when you feel those physical symptoms, I want you to use these as well. So deep breathing can be one. So you can put your hand like on your belly, and then we'll diaphragm breathe. So we'll take a deep breath all the way down and try to push those hands out, and then we'll breathe in and out. So that'll just get more airflow. You'll feel a little better, and you can do that. You can do sets of 10 of those. Counting is another one. I know that sounds kind of childish, but a lot of times when we count, we take our mind off what's going on. Do you like to draw or listen to music?
Yeah, I like to listen to music.
Do you have a favorite artist?
Oh, it just depends. I've been listening to a lot of Hamilton lately.
Okay, good choice. Well, I think that if you carry your earbuds around and you get anxious, put them in and listen to who you've been listening to, and that'll kind of take your mind off of things. Is there anything else you like to do? Any hobbies? Anything like that?
I play games on my phone sometimes.
That's very distracting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe keep your phone handy in those situations, and then if you get anxious, play that. Some people like to take walks or exercise. I know it's getting really cold out, but sometimes just getting out of a building or a house kind of helps. So those are all some tools we can put in your toolbox. And I want you to try to use 2 of them a day. Do you think that sounds fair?
Yeah.
And it could just be throwing your earbuds on while you're walking to a class, just to kind of calm you down. The last goal we talked about was writing a letter to your professors, which I think is really important, and going to 80% of your classes. So that's quite a lot. We set the bar pretty high.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes, and we can always adjust it. If that's just not doable, we can move it down to 50.
It's just frustrating because I'm paying so much for it, so I should probably go.
And you can do the work.
Yeah.
So
the classes are really easy.
yeah, so we'll get you there. And like I said, if we want to, even if you're making consistently 80, we can raise it to 90, to 100. We can raise it, so don't feel stuck on that number.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about what we want to put in that letter. So we want to write it to your professors, not individually, but just a generic letter, and we're going to give it to the disability resource. So we want to kind of tell them what's going on, what they can do for you, and what you can do for them. So is there anything you think you definitely want to include?
I know a lot of them have like an absentee policy that I probably already messed up.
So you want them to excuse your absences if it's necessary. I think that's a fair request.
Yeah. And then probably, I already have a lot of papers that are late,
Okay.
so maybe getting extensions.
Okay.
And then participation's usually a big grade stuff too.
And that's tough.
So yeah, I get anxious usually.
So maybe we could kind of say it makes my anxiety worse to participate, but I do want you to know I'm doing the work, so I'm willing to write a paragraph summary for the reading. So kind of give them something in return to let them know that this is genuine and you really want a good grade, but you just have something that's kind of prohibiting you from doing that. I think that's fair. And just to let them know what's going on. So if you do have some anxiety and you have to get up in the middle of class and walk out, that you're not being rude, you're not going to be on your phone, it's just you have some anxiety.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good place to stop for today. But I am going to give you some homework. So your homework's going to be to draft that letter, okay? And then we'll read it together next session. We'll see if it needs any editing, which I'm sure it won't. And then you can sign it, I'll sign it, and then if we need a doctor to sign it, the doctor can sign it as well. Just because, I mean, it is a medical issue. It's not, you know, something in your head or anything. So I think that that'll be your homework. So you have a lot of homework to use the relaxation technique at night, to try to use your coping skills, and then to finish that draft. Do you feel pretty confident?
Yeah.
And then we can reevaluate next session. So if you think, like I said, we need to raise or lower that 80%, we can. If we need to add something.
Is there a template you could give me for the letter?
Absolutely.
Just because usually I have a hard time starting things.
Yeah, I'll give you one with just, I'll give you a generic one and kind of, I'll also send you some points about anxiety that you might want to add in there, just about, and then you can talk about your own experiences. So I'll definitely send that to you. I have your email, I'll send that to you as soon as we're done here. And I think that'll give you a good start. And if you have any questions, concerns, anything like that, you have my number, you have my email, so reach out to me and we'll get you in the right direction. And I think that things will get better for you. And if you need any documentation from us for school or work, I'd be happy to provide that to you too. How's your anxiety now? 1 to 10?
It's probably like a 6.
That's what we like to hear. So just talking about stuff and kind of doing those relaxation skills, really, you feel like it helped?
Yeah. And I'll need a note for my work.
Okay, for sure, I will definitely get you that. So we have our homework assignments. You know to call me if you need anything, or if you start feeling, some, depressed or kind of anything just out of the normal. I want you to give me a call.
Okay.
Just to we'll get you in sooner if you need to. So we'll see each other every week. How do you feel about that?
I think that's okay for now.
Okay, and if we need to add it or add a day or, every other week, we can certainly, depending on how you're progressing.
Okay.
So I'll see you tomorrow, or not tomorrow, sorry. I'll see you next week, same day, same time. I'll get you that note for work, and I'll send you that email.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
Okay,
All right,
so much.
Thanks.
Oh.